I'm Anya, a quintessential 996 office worker. Working overtime until 10 p.m. is a daily occurrence, and tonight was no exception. Dragging my exhausted body out of the office building, I decided to take a shortcut through the small alley behind to save myself a 10-minute walk. Those 10 minutes, I'd later realize, were the 10 minutes that completely changed my ridiculously dramatic life. This alley was known for being deserted and dark, with flickering lights here and there. I was muttering curses under my breath about my bald boss, who made me do pointless PPTs when I heard heavy thuds and thumps from ahead. My heart leaped into my throat. Oh God, was it a fight, a robbery, or a scene from an action movie? My first instinct was to turn and run. Anya, I chided myself, you've watched too many gangster movies. Getting involved in this kind of trouble will just get you killed early. But just as I turned on my heel, a suppressed groan echoed. It was a man's voice, deep and incredibly pleasant to listen to. Damn it, not the time for my crush on handsome men. I gritted my teeth, ducking behind a massive trash can nearby, and cautiously peeked out. The scene before me made me gasp. 3 men dressed in black, looking like genuine loan shark thugs, were ganging up on someone. The man being beaten was leaning against the wall, appearing tall but clearly at a disadvantage, only able to curl up defensively. Who the hell do you think you are, daring to trespass on our turf? A man with bleached blonde hair snarled, aiming a kick at the man's stomach. The man dodged it, but the next punch from another thug landed squarely on his shoulder. Damn it, he staggered but remained upright. A faint light from the alley entrance shone on one side of his face. I swallowed hard. Oh my God, he's gorgeous. That sharp nose, that jawline even covered in blood and bruises, they couldn't hide the chiseled, statue-like features. His hair was slightly messy, strands falling across his forehead, and his eyes, in the dim light, flashed with a cold, stubborn glint. This wasn't a normal person, was it? This was clearly the male lead from an idol drama who'd fallen into the hands of gangsters. Kill him, how dare he resist? The blonde thug roared. The 3 men charged simultaneously. In that moment, I don't know which of my nerves misfired. Perhaps it was my nerve for handsome men. Without thinking, I shrieked at the top of my lungs, "Police, everyone freeze!" At the same time, I turned on my phone flashlight, shining it directly into the thugs' faces. With my other hand, I hurled the half-finished bubble tea I was holding straight at the blonde thug's face. Splat. The bubble tea hit its target, pearls and ice splattering all over him. The 3 thugs froze, the dark alley suddenly startled by the shout and the light. It was in this precise moment that the man who had been cornered didn't miss a beat. He lunged forward with such speed that I only saw a blur. He elbowed the nearest thug hard in the throat. The thug gurgled and collapsed. Next, he spun around, delivering an incredibly vicious sweep kick to the second thug's knee. Crack! The sound of bone breaking made me shudder. The blonde thug, wiping bubble tea from his face, saw his 2 comrades incapacitated in an instant. His face went pale. You'll pay for this? He realized the situation was bad. The police, me, were standing some distance away, and his prey had suddenly turned into a fierce tiger. He scrambled to his feet, dragging his accomplices, and bolted out of the alley. The alley immediately fell silent, leaving only me, standing frozen behind the trash can, phone still raised, and him. The man slowly straightened up but immediately staggered. He clutched his side, fresh blood oozing from a tear in his white shirt. A white shirt, classic male lead material. He turned to look at me, and my heart pounded like it wanted to burst out. Oh no, Anya, you've gotten yourself into deep trouble. What if he's an internal rival from a gang? Did I just disrupt his fight or save him? Under the phone's flashlight, I could clearly see his handsome face, bruised and cut, one eye slightly swollen, but still unbelievably attractive. He frowned at me, his sharp gaze scrutinizing. His voice was hoarse. Did you really call the police? I flinched, stammering, and no, I didn't, I just tricked them. He stared at me for a few seconds, and I felt as if I was stripped bare under his gaze. I was so scared I wanted to turn off the flashlight, but if I did, the alley would be pitch black. I'd be even more terrified. Ha, he suddenly let out a laugh, but the smile pulled at the wound on his lip, making him wince. You've got guts, he said, then slowly slid down to the ground, leaning against the wall. Your phone, can I borrow it? They took mine. He ordered me as if he were my boss. I pouted inwardly. On what grounds? Just because you're handsome doesn't mean you have the right, does it? But my hand still obediently handed him my phone. He took it, his long, slender fingers gliding across the screen. Damn it, even his hands are beautiful. But he didn't make a call. He just opened the Notes app, typed something, and handed it back to me. Take me to this address. I'll pay you 10 times the fare. I looked at the screen. It was the address of the Imperial Grand Hotel. What? The Imperial Grand Hotel, where a single night in the cheapest room is rumored to cost 3 months of my salary. I looked at him in disbelief. Sir, are you kidding me? Look at yourself. Do you think the Imperial Grand's reception will let a bloodied mess like you through the door? Besides, where would I get the money to take you there by taxi? He frowned, seemingly losing patience. So, what do you want? I took a deep breath. I don't know who you are, and I don't want to. I just saved you, so consider it a good deed. Shall I call an ambulance for you? No, he immediately brushed it off. I can't go to a hospital. Ah, so that's clear. This situation has been played out many times in movies. Either he's being hunted or he's involved in illegal activities. Whichever it is, I don't want to be involved. Well then, I looked around. 2 streets from here, there's a private guest house, very cheap. Can you go there and treat your wounds yourself? I can't take you to my place. I live with a friend. He looked at me, his eyes seeming to say, You dare suggest I go to a guest house? I shrugged. That's the only option, or I leave you here. That wound on your side is bleeding a lot, you'll die if it's not stopped. His face grew paler and paler. Finally, he nodded. Fine, I sighed in relief. I helped him stand up. His entire weight leaned on me. The heavy load almost made me fall. He was a head taller than me, and though he seemed thin, he was all muscle. We hobbled along like 2 ghosts in the night to a guest house called Dawn. The landlady gave us a strange look. 1 single room, I said, tossing my ID onto the counter. A fatal mistake, I knew, but the situation was urgent. The landlady glanced at the man beside me. 2 of you. He was in a car accident, I improvised. I'm just putting him up for a temporary rest, just 1 room. I tried to appear calm. Taking the key, I helped him up to room 302. As soon as we were in the room, I practically threw him onto the rock-hard bed. Phew, I panted, done. I'll go buy some disinfectant and bandages for you. Stay here and wait. He said nothing, just nodded, eyes closed. I ran like the wind to the nearest 24/7 pharmacy, buying a pile of cotton, alcohol, and antiseptic. When I returned, he was still lying still, but his breathing seemed heavier. Hey, take off your shirt, I said, my face feeling a little hot. He opened his eyes and looked at me. How else am I supposed to disinfect the wound on your side? I snapped, trying to hide my embarrassment. He slowly unbuttoned his shirt piece by piece. And I, Anya, 24 years old, saw an 8-pack for the first time in my life. No, not the time to be fangirling. The tear in his side was quite deep, still oozing blood, surrounded by a terrifying bruise. I gritted my teeth and poured alcohol onto the cot. This will sting a bit. Just do it. I dabbed the alcohol onto the wound. He only trembled slightly, not making a sound. As I wiped away the blood, I muttered, Who on earth did you provoke? They really went all out. They clearly wanted to kill you. He didn't answer. He just looked at me, that deep, complex gaze reappearing. Done. I clumsily stuck the largest bandage over the wound and wrapped up the other bruises. You're on your own now. I stood up to tidy the empty bottles. Anya, he suddenly called my name. I jumped. How do you know my name? Your ID. He pointed to my jacket pocket where I'd stuffed my ID card after checking in. Ah, I scratched my head. Well, that's it then. I'm going home. The room cost 150 yuan, the medicine 50 yuan, a total of 200 yuan. Give it to me. I held out my hand. I wasn't a saint, I was poor. He looked at me, then at my hand. Then he reached into his pants pocket and pulled out a wallet. My eyes lit up. He opened the wallet. Inside, there was no cash, only a row of black cards, platinum cards, and other cards I'd only ever seen on TV. I gave him a questioning look. It's exactly as you think. He looked up at me, a hint of awkwardness on his face. I don't carry cash. I wanted to faint. I just saved a handsome 8-pack guy who was dirt poor. No, a rich guy with no cash. Then WeChat Pay or Alipay? I tried to salvage the situation. My phone was taken. I took a deep breath. Anya, calm down, I told myself. So what are you going to do? I looked at him. He looked back at me with those 8-pack eyes. I owe you 200 yuan and a life. I don't need a life, I need 200 yuan. I screamed internally. Give me your number, I'll pay you back tomorrow, he said very seriously. I had no choice but to rattle off my phone number. He murmured it a few times, as if etching it into his memory. All right, you rest, I'm leaving, I said, feeling like the biggest idiot in the world, having lost 200 yuan and gotten involved in a troublesome debt. I turned to walk out the door. Anya, he called again. What now? I turned back, annoyed. No money and still making demands. Be careful. My heart skipped a beat. His voice was low but very clear. Be careful of what? They, he said, might come looking for you. I froze. Me? Why me? I just threw a cup of bubble tea. You saw their faces, he looked straight at me, and you used your ID card. Cold sweat drenched my back. Oh God, I used my ID to check in. If those thugs come back, they just need to threaten the landlady a little to get my information. So what do I do now? I panicked. I don't want revenge. I'll handle it, he said. Before dawn, go home now, take the main road. I looked at him. He was still injured, his face pale, but his commanding aura hadn't diminished. How's he going to handle it? No phone, no money, but I had no other choice. I nodded frantically. Okay, you be careful too. I bolted. I ran straight to the main road, hailed a taxi, my heart thumping wildly in my chest. When I got back to our shared rented apartment, my friend Mia was fast asleep. I tiptoed into my room, locked the door, and then sank to the floor. It's over, Anya. What kind of mess have you gotten yourself into? 200 yuan is gone, and now there's a risk of gangsters coming to my door. I trembled as I opened WeChat, intending to call the police, but how would I explain? Telling them I saved a handsome stranger of unknown origin at a guest house. The police would think I was crazy. That night, I couldn't sleep, my eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. The next morning, I dragged my panda-like face to the office. All day, I was on edge. Every time someone walked past my desk, I jumped. My bald boss called me into his office again because of a small mistake in yesterday's PPT. Anya, what kind of work is this? How can you get this chart wrong? If you don't want to work, then quit. I was used to it. I bowed my head. Sorry, manager, I'll fix it right away. HMPH, hurry up. We have to present it to the partners this afternoon. I trudged back to my desk. Just then, my phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number. 20,000 yuan has been transferred to your account. I was stunned. 20,000, not 200. I quickly opened my banking app. Balance, 21,530 yuan. My salary was 6,000. I hadn't even paid rent this month. I only had 1,530 yuan left in my wallet. A second message arrived. Medicine and room fee, interest included. My heart pounded. I quickly messaged back. How did you calculate the interest? 200 became 20,000. Did you accidentally press an extra zero? Are you kidding me? What bank teller would accidentally press 2 extra zeros? Is this compensation for mental distress? Where are you? How's your wound? I messaged back. He's a sugar daddy after all. No, a benefactor who gave me money. I'm fine. Do you need any more help from me? No. The conversation ended, as cold as the man himself. I looked at the 20,000, feeling like I was dreaming. Should I give it back? No way. Consider it compensation for last night's mental distress. But my excitement didn't last long before drama struck. Anya, the shrill voice of Lily, the office's flower, rang out. The manager called you. They say your PPT made the partners angry. The whole office gasped, looking at me. My heart sank. What? I already revised it according to the boss's instructions. I rushed into the meeting room. My bald boss's face was beet red like a pig's liver. Beside him were 2 men in suits who looked very important. Anya, explain yourself. Why is there a picture of a pig in the presentation file for the partners? I froze. A pig. I opened my laptop. The file I submitted was normal. No, it's not my file. I sent the correct file. Are you still denying it? Lily stood next to me, smirking, her face triumphant. You're the one who sent me the final file for compilation. Everyone, look at the email here. She projected the email. It was indeed from my email, the last slide of the PPT. Instead of thank you, there was a dancing pig with the caption, "Thank you, little piggies, for listening." Oh no, I'm doomed. My mind exploded. I was framed. Lily, it was you. I roared. I sent you the original file. You changed it. Anya, don't slander me. Lily started to tear up. I only compiled everyone's files. How would I know you'd do something like this? Do you hate our partners? That's enough. My boss slammed his hand on the table. Anya, you've disgraced the company. You're fired immediately. Get out. Oh no, it's really over. Fired in front of the partners for putting a pig picture in a PPT. My bald boss's roar still echoed in the meeting room. The 2 partners looked at me with pity mixed with a hint of disdain. As for Lily, the corners of her mouth were clearly turned up, even though her eyes were still glistening with tears. Act. Keep acting. I took a deep breath. Anya, you can't fall apart here. Manager, I said, coldly raising my head and looking directly at the bald boss. Are you sure that's the file I made? You dare to argue? The bald boss slammed the table. The email is right here. Do you think I'm blind? That's right, Anya, Lily chimed in, her tone as if she were advising me. You should apologize to the partners and the manager quickly. Perhaps the manager will forgive you this time. Forgive? This B*TCH is adding fuel to the fire. Lily, I sneered. You're so eager for me to confess. Are you afraid I'll say something? Lily's face stiffened slightly. You, what nonsense are you talking about? I only wanted what's best for you. What's best for me? I walked closer to the projector, pointing at the email information. This file was sent at 10:00 a.m., but the final file I completed was at 9:30 a.m., and I sent it directly to the company's internal server, while also CCing you. Why didn't you use the file on the server, but instead used this privately sent file? I just happened to open this email first, Lily stammered. Happened, or intentionally? I stared at her. Because on the internal server, you couldn't modify the file without leaving a trace, right? You downloaded the file I emailed, inserted the pig, and then sent it to the manager, claiming it was the final compilation. You're slandering me. Lily started her old trick, tears streaming down her face. Manager, look, I only wanted to help everyone compile the file, and she's accusing me. My bald boss, who already had a questionable relationship with Lily, saw the beauty crying and immediately flared up. Anya, not only did you make a mistake, but you're also slandering a colleague. This company cannot keep someone like you. Security, get her out. Colleagues around us started whispering, most of them believing Lily because she always portrayed herself as weak and pathetic. I clenched my fists. Damn it, no evidence. This internal email system is too simple. It doesn't log attachment modification history. Just as I was despairing, intending to drag that devil down with me even if I died, my phone vibrated in my pocket. It was the unknown number from yesterday. It was him. I quickly took a few steps back, hid in the corner of the room, and opened the message. Hallway camera, 10:02 a.m., and it needs to restore the file access log. My heart pounded. Camera, server. I immediately raised my head. Manager, if you want to know who's right and who's wrong, it's very simple. Ask it to check the hallway camera right outside the compilation room at 10:02 a.m. this morning and restore all access logs for the PPT file on the server. My bald boss frowned. What are you stirring up? It is busy. Are you scared? I smirked. It'll only take 5 minutes. If the camera shows I didn't even go near Lily's computer, and the server log shows my file is completely clean, while Lily's file has signs of modification, then what? Lily's face went pale. She hadn't expected me to demand the camera footage. I don't know. Just then, the meeting room door burst open. CEO Chen, the highest-ranking boss of the entire company, entered with a cold expression. Following him was another man. This man was very young, wearing an expensive custom-made suit, radiating an imposing aura. He stood only slightly behind CEO Chen, yet everyone could feel an invisible pressure emanating from him. CEO Chen? My bald boss was so scared he almost knelt. Why are you here? CEO Chen didn't even glance at the bald boss. He turned and bowed 45 degrees to the young man. Mr. Lucas, I'm so sorry to have made you witness such a scene. Mr. Lucas? I was stunned. Wait a minute. The young man raised his head, his gaze sweeping across the meeting room, and then his eyes stopped on me. Just for a second, but I recognized him. Even though he had changed into a suit, his hair neatly styled, no longer bloody or bruised, that deep, sharp gaze, it was him. It was the 8-pack heartthrob with no cash from the guest house last night. Oh my God, I must be dreaming. Why are you here? And you're with CEO Chen and being called Mr. Lucas. He only looked at me for a second before his gaze moved away as if he didn't know me. Your partners, Mr. Lucas suddenly spoke, his voice deep and emotionless, are a subsidiary of the Imperial Grand Group. The entire room gasped. The Imperial Grand Group? The hotel he asked me to take him to. He continued, we are very curious as to why such a personally insulting image would appear in an important business plan. WH what? My bald boss trembled. Personally insulting? The two partners here today, he pointed to the two men sitting silently, are General Manager Li and General Manager Zhu. Zhu is homophonous with pig in Chinese. My bald bosses and Lily's faces turned as white as paper. Oh God, what kind of bloody drama is this? Lily thought putting a pig picture was just a mean joke, but she accidentally hit the revered name of a major boss. Investigate, Mr. Lucas said, a single, clear word. CEO Chen immediately turned to the bald boss. Manager Zhang, what are you waiting for? Call it. If you don't find out who played this trick today, you're fired. The bald boss was scared out of his wits, quickly calling it. Lily could no longer stand. She staggered. Less than 3 minutes later, the IT team leader, his face drained of color, rushed in. Our report, CEO. We checked Ms. Anya's file on the server and it's completely normal. But at 9:45 a.m. this morning, this file was downloaded to Ms. Lily's personal computer. And the system log shows that the final PPT file received by Manager Zhang was sent from Ms. Lily's computer's IP address. Ironclad proof. Try denying it now, you be *TCH. No, it wasn't me, Lily screamed. Anya framed me, she hacked my computer, I laughed. You think I'm a hacker? If I were that good, would I still be sitting here doing 996? Ms. Lily. My bald boss finally realized he'd been tricked and roared in anger. How dare you? Manager Zhang, Mr. Lucas spoke again, his voice several degrees colder. As far as I know, this project was originally handled by Ms. Anya from the beginning, but half a month ago you suddenly replaced her, assigning Ms. Lily as the main person in charge. Is this true? The bald boss was stunned. How? How do you know? Lily trembled. It was true. She had whined to the bald boss to steal my credit. Manager Zhang, CEO Chen interjected. You changed the person in charge due to personal favoritism, almost ruining a major contract, and Ms. Lily intentionally sabotaged and insulted our partners. Both of you are fired, must compensate for damages, and will receive a company-wide disciplinary notice. CEO Chen made the decision. Lily collapsed to the ground, unconscious or feigning it, I didn't care. The bald boss's face was ashen. The entire meeting room was silent. This public shaming was epic. I looked at Mr. Lucas. He still stood there, his face expressionless, as if none of this concerned him. But I know he sent that message. All of this was orchestrated by him. He not only paid me 20,000 yuan, but he also cleared my name. Ms. Anya, CEO Chen turned to me, smiling a falsely benevolent smile. The company is at fault towards you. What do you say? Will you continue to lead this project? Salary doubled. Doubled? This old man sure knows how to change his tune quickly. If it were yesterday, I would have cried tears of joy, but today I looked at him, then at Lucas. I smiled. CEO Chen, thank you for your kind offer, but... I walked to my desk, originally intending to pack my things, and picked up an empty cardboard box. The air in this place is too polluted, I said. I quit. What? All my colleagues, even CEO Chen, were stunned. I didn't leave when I was fired, but now that I'm offered double salary, I'm quitting. I shrugged. This lady isn't serving you anymore. I have 20,000 yuan in my account, 20,000 yuan. That's enough for me to live off for a few months. What do I have to be afraid of? I calmly packed my things. No one dared to stop me. As I walked past Mr. Lucas, I deliberately slowed down. He didn't look at me. I walked straight out the company door, not bothering to look back, and took a deep breath. The air of freedom, so refreshing. I walked while texting him. Thank you, today's public shaming was a perfect 10. My phone vibrated almost immediately. You're welcome. But why were you at my company? And you're Mr. Lucas? This message took a while to get a reply. I don't like my people being bullied. My heart thumped. My people. What do you mean, my people? My face flushed. I was standing in the middle of the street, smiling like an idiot. I quickly messaged back, who are your people? Don't talk nonsense. You saved me, didn't you? So what? Then you're my person. What kind of domineering nonsense is that? I was about to text back a sarcastic remark when my phone rang. It was Mia, my roommate. Her voice was trembling as if she was about to cry. Anya, you have to come home, hurry. What's wrong, Mia? Did something happen to you? No, not me, someone's looking for you, they're terrifying. My heart sank. Who are they? I don't know, 3 men, menacing faces, the blonde one, he even showed me your picture. Anya, did you cause trouble again? The blonde thug, it was those thugs from the dark alley last night. The blood in my veins turned to ice. Mr. Lucas, he said he handled it. Why did they still find my house? Anya, where are you? Did you cause trouble again? Mia's panicked scream over the phone was like a bucket of cold water poured directly onto my brain. The blonde thug was at my door. My blood ran cold. The feeling of freedom and exhilaration after publicly shaming Lily and quitting my job vanished completely. Where was I standing? In the middle of a bustling intersection, people coming and going, but I felt cold. They found my house. Mia was still inside. Mia, you! Lock the door tight. Hide in the bathroom, lock it, don't make a sound. I screamed into the phone. I'm so scared, Anya, they're banging on the door. Calm down, listen to me. They're looking for me, not you. Just stay silent, they won't be able to get in, I'll call the police right away. Anya, the door, asterisk bang. A loud noise echoed through the phone, followed by Mia's shrill scream. Mia, the call disconnected. My whole body trembled. I couldn't stand steadily. I had to lean against a tree by the roadside. I shakily dialed 911. Hello, police, help, apartment bin in room 702. There's a robbery. I couldn't even form a complete sentence. After hanging up, something struck me. Mr. Lucas, you damn bastard. I immediately opened WeChat and searched for that single unknown number. My fingers trembled so much I misdialed several times. They're at my house. It's the blonde thug from last night. You said you handled it, my friend. My friend is in trouble. I almost threw my phone away in anger and fear. Mr. Lucas, Imperial Grand, he's just a bragging show-off. My phone vibrated. It was him calling. The first time he'd ever called me, I immediately answered, screaming, Hey, Mr. Lucas, whatever you are, you bastard, you've got my friend killed. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. Then a deep, cold voice, yet chillingly calm, spoke. Tell me what happened. Those thugs from last night, they came to my house. They broke down the door, my friend Mia, I sobbed. Address. His voice showed no fluctuation. Been an apartment, room 702. I called the police. Anya, listen to me. His voice suddenly became stern. The police won't make it in time. Where are you right now? I'm at the intersection near my old company. Stay put. Send me your location immediately. What about Mia? I'll handle it. He hung up. I stood rooted to the spot, surrounded by noise, cars passing by, but my ears rang. It's that same line, I'll handle it. He said that last night too, and the result is, I didn't dare to think anymore. I mechanically opened my location and sent it to him. Then I sank to the roadside, my cardboard box of office supplies spilling out, a few pens, paper clips rolling around. I felt like a stray dog chased out of its home, useless, angry, and scared. If anything happened to Mia, I would never forgive myself. And I would kill that, Mr. Lucas. I don't know how long I sat there, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. My eyes were glued to my phone, waiting. The phone vibrated again, this time a message. 5 minutes, a black Maybach, license plate 8888, get in. I typed a question mark. Maybach, license plate 8888, are you filming a domineering CEO drama? I was still dazed when my phone rang. It was Mia. My heart felt like it wanted to jump out of my chest. I quickly answered. Mia, are you okay? Huff, huff. Mia's panting voice came through. Anya, I'm fine. You're okay? Where are they? They broke down the door? I don't know. Mia's voice was still shaky. I hid in the bathroom. They were banging on the door. I heard the main door being forced open, but immediately after I heard screams. What? Their screams were really horrible. Then someone knocked on the bathroom door. Who knocked? I was tense. A very polite man in a black suit. He said, Miss Mia, you're safe now. We are Mr. Lucas's people. We apologize for frightening you. My mind went blank. Anya, who on earth is Mr. Lucas? What kind of god is he? The thugs were dragged away like sacks of garbage. The police just arrived, but those men in black suits just showed a card, and the police immediately saluted. Then they took me to a hotel and said they would protect me. My mind was buzzing. What kind of card makes the police salute? Just then, a sleek, absurdly long black car silently pulled up right in front of me. The car window rolled down, and a man in a suit, wearing sunglasses despite the cloudy weather, looked at me. Miss Anya, Mr. Lucas sent us to pick you up. License plate 8888. Oh God, is it real? I scrambled to my feet, brushed the dust off my butt, and carefully picked up my pens, putting them back into the box. Should I get in? Looking at this car, I felt like if I were sold, I'd fetch a good price. But I had no other choice. Mia was safe. This Mr. Lucas didn't seem to be all talk. I opened the back door, clutching my cardboard box, and sat down. Damn it, this seat is softer than my bed. The car smelled strongly of high-end leather. The driver said nothing and started the car. The car didn't head towards the Imperial Grand Hotel. It drove towards Phoenix Mountain Villa, an area where every inch of land was rumored to be more expensive than gold. I swallowed hard. "Driver," I mumbled, "where are we going?" "Miss Anya," he replied without turning his head, "Mr. Lucas is waiting for you." Miss Anya, I got goosebumps. Anya, a 996 office worker, was being called Miss today. The car stopped in front of a villa. No, it should be called a castle. It was enormous, with a fountain and a garden. I clutched my cardboard box tightly. I felt like I shouldn't be walking in here. I should be using the back door for servants. That would be more appropriate. A butler, a real butler in a tailcoat, came out and opened the car door for me. "Please, Miss Anya." I stumbled out of the car, following the butler into a living room as large as my old company office, and Lucas was sitting on the sofa. He had changed clothes. It wasn't the suit from the company, nor the ripped shirt from yesterday. He was wearing a gray loungewear set that looked very comfortable, but I knew its price was enough to buy me 1,000 identical shirts. The wound on his face was still there, but had been better treated, only slightly red. He looked up, his deep eyes meeting mine again. "You're here," he said. I placed the cardboard box down. The thud echoed in the overly quiet room. I took a breath and walked over. "Mr. Lucas," I growled, "what should I call you now?" He raised an eyebrow. "Who on earth are you? I can't hold it in anymore. Today, do you know you almost got me and my friend killed?" I was furious. I was genuinely furious, even though he had just saved Mia. He looked at me, not angry, and simply gestured for me to sit down. I didn't. I said, he slowly stood up, I would handle it. "But they still found us. They're not ordinary thugs." He walked towards the bar and poured a glass of water. "They're Black Serpent members. I dealt with their leader, but I didn't expect these small fries to act on their own." Black Serpent? What a name, sounds like something from a martial arts movie. "You used your ID card at the guest house." He handed me the water. "That was a mistake." I glared at him. "You're lecturing me." "If I hadn't done that, do you think you'd still be alive, standing here giving me orders?" He paused. The glass of water in his hand stopped midair. After a few seconds, he smiled. A very slight smile, just a corner of his mouth turning up, making the cut on his lip move. "You're right," he said. "I owe you. My name is Lucas Chen. It's not a bad name, so please don't call me Mr. What's-his-name anymore. It hurts a little." He placed the glass of water on the table. "For now, stay here. This place is absolutely safe." "Here?" I looked around. "No, I can't. I have to go back to Mia." "Your friend," he said, "is in the safest hotel of Imperial Grand, safer than here. She'll have 24/7 care. The Black Serpent won't be able to touch a hair on her head." I was stunned. He even arranged things for Mia. "Then why do I have to stay here? Take me to Mia." "No," he shook his head. "Their target is you. You saw the leader's face. The leader is the one whose leg I broke in the alley," he clarified. I gasped. "So you, Anya," he interrupted me. "You're safe here, my people I protect." He said that phrase again. My people. My heart skipped another beat. "But I can't just stay at your house," I weakly protested. "Then pay your debt," he said. "Pay what debt?" I was cautious. "I'm telling you up front, I'm not selling myself, even if you have an 8-pack and are handsome." He looked at me as if I were an idiot. "I need an assistant," he said. "You just quit your job, didn't you?" This plot twist from savior to personal assistant of a CEO. An assistant for you doing what? Making coffee, arranging schedules, and, he looked at me, reading documents. "I hate making PPTs now," I quickly said, even though the pig incident was a frame-up. "I don't need PPTs," he said. "I need someone who knows how to talk back to people." Your counterattack at the company today," he said, "was very impressive." Oh my God, he was there watching the whole thing? My face flushed. He not only orchestrated everything, he also watched the show. Just as I was about to explode, my phone rang. It was my mother. I jumped. My mother hadn't called me in months. I quickly answered, lowering my voice. "Hello, Mom." "Anya," my mother's shrill voice rang out. "Where are you? Come home right away. Hurry." "What's wrong, Mom?" "What's wrong?" My mother's voice was full of strange excitement. "The Ta family found us, they said. They said you're not our biological child. You're the daughter of a rich family. Anya, you have a twin sister." I typed a question mark. What kind of drama is this? I typed. My entire brain felt like someone had thrown a dramatic bomb at it. "Anya, are you listening? Come home. The Ta family, they're so rich." My mother's voice, *no, my adoptive mother's voice was still booming over the phone, full of undisguised excitement. I stood frozen in Lucas's luxurious living room, phone still in hand. What on earth is happening? Yesterday, I was chased by thugs. This morning, I publicly shamed Lily and bravely quit my job. An hour ago, I almost lost my best friend, and now my mother says I'm not her biological child, I'm from a rich family, and I have a twin sister. An 8 p.m. TV drama wouldn't dare write a script like this. Mom, I tried to breathe. Mom, are you joking? It's not April Fool's Day. Joking? What joke? They brought tons of stuff and they're here at our house. They said you're Miss Ta. Come home quickly to your real family. My adoptive mother's voice trembled with excitement. Oh, they also said you have a twin sister named Yvonne Ta who has a heart condition. Come home quickly, they're waiting. Yvonne Ta, heart condition? I internally swore. Why does this script sound so familiar? Is it the classic mistaken identity plot? A rich girl gets lost, lives a poor life. The other girl stays home, enjoys all the riches but has a terrible illness. And I, Anya, am that healthy, discarded one. Mom, I was about to say something when a large, slender hand reached out and gently took my phone. It was Luca's. How long had he been standing next to me? What are you doing? I glared at him. Her voice, Lucas frowned, is too loud. He's complaining my adoptive mother is loud, but he's right. You heard everything, I mumbled. The room was too quiet and my mother's voice was like a megaphone. The Ta family, Lucas slowly said these two words, his eyes thoughtful. My heart pounded. The Ta group, specializing in real estate, has some reputation. Lucas's voice was very calm. Some reputation? My mother said they're super rich. So the twin sister, rich family story could very well be true. Lucas looked at me, his eyes deep. Anyway, this drama suits you well. Is he complimenting me or mocking me? I have to go back and see. I clenched my fists. No matter how dramatic, this concerns 24 years of my life. Why was I abandoned? How long have my parents lied to me? No, Lucas immediately refused. What? I snapped my head up. This is my business. On what grounds are you stopping me? First, he raised a finger, the black serpent hasn't been completely dealt with. You're a moving target. If you leave, I can't guarantee your safety. Second, he raised a second finger, you just agreed to be my assistant. You haven't done any work yet and you're already asking for leave. I was speechless. What kind of domineering logic is this? When did I agree? I didn't say I wouldn't go, I said. Lucas saw me bristling and changed his tone. I said you can't go alone. You'll come with me? I was surprised. He was Mr. Lucas from Imperial Grand, someone the police had to salute. He was going to my old, rundown apartment complex. As what, my boyfriend? I pouted. As your creditor. He lightly tapped my forehead. It was gentle, but I still flinched. You owe me a life. Assistant Anya, let's go. I also want to see how exciting this family reunion drama is. He thinks this is a drama? My heart spontaneously skipped another beat. That tap on my forehead, my face flushed. Who's your assistant? Let's go then, but... I looked down at my shabby cardboard box, then at his gray loungewear. Are we going like this? Lucas looked at me, then down at his clothes. Is there a problem? A big problem? I yelled. I'm going to meet my rich family. You're going to watch a drama. Are you going to watch a drama in pajamas? And me, I'm carrying a box from being fired. If we show up like this, people will think we're beggars not going to meet family. Lucas seemed to think for half a second. Butler Lee, he called. The butler in the tailcoat appeared from somewhere like a god. Mr. Lucas. Prepare clothes for Miss Anya and me? 10 minutes. Yes, sir. The butler bowed and then looked at me. Please, Miss Anya, this way. I was ushered into a room that I thought was a dressing room. It was as big as my entire apartment with Mia combined. Clothes, shoes, bags, all kinds. Miss Anya, your measurements are similar to these. These are custom-made items Mr. Lucas ordered but hasn't had a chance to wear. I typed a question mark. He even orders women's clothes to his house? Is he keeping someone? But I didn't have time to think much. 10 minutes. I closed my eyes and randomly picked a simple but elegant white slip dress. Anya, you must have an aura. Whether it's real or fake, you can't let people look down on you today. When I came out, Lucas had also finished changing. He wasn't wearing a suit, he wore a simple black shirt and matching trousers. But when he stood there, his imposing aura almost took my breath away. The wound on his face, for some reason, didn't make him look worse but added a few touches of danger. Ready to go, Assistant Anya? He smirked. Let's go then. We got into the Maybach 8888 again. This time, I didn't feel as timid as when I arrived. I was going to battle. The car headed towards my old apartment complex. The closer we got, the heavier my heart felt. I had lived here for 24 years. Even if my adoptive parents favored my younger brother, yes, I had a prodigal younger brother and scolded me, at least I thought this was home. Now it wasn't home and they weren't my parents. What was I? A warm hand suddenly took mine. I flinched. My hand was trembling and cold as ice. Lucas was holding my hand. He wasn't looking at me, he was still looking straight ahead. Don't be scared, his voice was deep. I'm here, just 4 words. But his tight grip and the warmth from his palm suddenly calmed me down. Who's scared? I argued, my voice strained, but I didn't pull my hand away. The car stopped, not directly in front of my apartment building, but a little way off because the entire small alley leading to the apartment was blocked by 3 cars, a Rolls-Royce, a Bentley, and an ambulance. Oh my God, picking up their daughter and making such a grand show? Are they afraid the whole neighborhood won't know? Looks like, Lucas chuckled, the Ta family values you very much. Value, I sneered. If they valued me, where were they for the past 24 years? Our Maybach couldn't go any further. Stop here, Lucas ordered. He got out of the car first, then walked around to open the door for me. This sudden gentlemanly act made me slightly stunned. Just then, the door of apartment 702, my home, opened. My adoptive mother ran out first, her face beaming. Following her was my adoptive father, his expression complex. My younger brother's eyes sparkled at the sight of the luxury cars and an elegantly dressed middle-aged couple stepping out. The woman looked very frail, leaning on the man. She was wiping away tears as she walked. Finally, a young girl in a pale pink princess dress with long, wavy hair was pushed in a wheelchair by a nurse. She looked up and I held my breath. She looks astonishingly like me. If I was a rough sketch, she was a perfectly rendered oil painting. The same face, but she was paler, weaker, and more refined. It was Yvonne, my twin sister. The entire group stood at the door, searching. My adoptive mother saw me and immediately waved frantically. Anya, come here quickly. Your parents know Mr. and Mrs. Ta are here to pick you up. All eyes turned towards me and towards the man in black with an imposing aura who was holding my hand. Yvonne Ta, the frail sister in the wheelchair, seeing Lucas, her eyes suddenly lit up. And then she whispered something weakly, but loud enough for me to hear. Lucas Gij. I gasped, they know each other. That sweet, weak, Lucas Gij from Yvonne Ta not only made me question everything, but it also made the atmosphere in this cramped alley freeze. I looked at Lucas, his hand holding mine tightened even more, the warmth flowing through, pulling me back from the dramatic chaos. Lucas didn't look at Yvonne Ta, no, he didn't even glance at her. He was looking at me. His eyes were deep. I suddenly felt okay. With him here, even if the sky fell, even if 18 more white lotuses called him, gee, I wouldn't be afraid. Anya, what are you standing there for? My adoptive mother broke the silence. She was so excited her face was flushed red. Come on, go greet your biological parents, she said, trying to push me, but Lucas was holding my hand. He stood as unmoving as Mount Tai. She pushed, but he didn't budge, and embarrassment clearly showed on my adoptive mother's face. At this moment, Mrs. Ta, the frail woman leaning on Mr. Ta, suddenly came to. She let go of her husband's hand, staggering towards me. Anya, my child, you're my Anya, she cried tragically, reaching out as if to hug me. Instinctively, I took a step back, hiding behind Lucas. I wasn't used to it. The scent of expensive perfume on her and those seemingly genuine tears. I wasn't used to it. Mrs. Ta's hand stopped, hovering in midair. She was stunned. My child, she looked at me, then at Lucas standing protectively in front of me, then at our tightly clasped hands. Who is this gentleman? Mr. Ta, my biological father, now stepped forward, his voice calm, but his eyes on Lucas were full of scrutiny. He was a businessman, he sensed Lucas's extraordinary presence. Lucas Gij, Yvonne Ta in the wheelchair spoke again, weakly. This time her voice was a little shaky and resentful. Why are you here, your hand? She stared at our hands. I clearly saw her eyes redden. Oh ho, the good show is coming. This sickly sister seems to like my Mr. Lucas. No, not my creditor. Yvonne, do you know this gentleman? Mrs. Ta was surprised. He's Lucas Gij. Yvonne bit her lip, tears welling up in her eyes. He's the one I told you about, Mom and Dad, the one I. She didn't finish, but everyone understood. Damn it, what kind of plot is this? I find my family, but my twin sister is my love rival. My screenwriter brain, Anya, was spinning faster than a blender. Mr. and Mrs. Ta's expressions immediately changed. They looked at Lucas with excitement. So it's Mr. Lucas of Imperial Grand? Mr. Ta suddenly became respectful. I've heard much about you. I didn't expect Mr. Lucas to know my daughter Anya. Lucas of Imperial Grand. These words alone were enough to make Mr. Ta, a veteran in real estate, bow his head. Damn it, I muttered under my breath. Who on earth are you that you're so powerful? More powerful than you think. He suddenly leaned down and whispered into my ear. His hot breath brushed against my ear. Oh God, in broad daylight, is he seducing me? My face flushed. Our intimate action caught Yvonne Ta's eye. Ah, she suddenly cried out in pain, clutching her chest. My heart hurts. Yvonne, Mrs. Ta and Mr. Ta immediately panicked. Quick, medicine, nurse, medicine. The ambulance that had followed immediately had people rushing out. Blood pressure, injection. A chaotic scene. I watched coldly. Was this a real heart attack or just another White Lotus trick? She saw Lucas being intimate with me and immediately had a heart attack. This acting technique, Lily from my old company would have to call her master. Lucas was even colder than me. He didn't even bother to turn his head to look at Yvonne, who was seemingly dying. He just pulled me away from the alley, standing beside the Maybach. Good show, isn't it? He asked, his tone clearly sarcastic. Very good, I gritted my teeth, but I suspect you're the source of all these dramas. He raised an eyebrow. My sister, I deliberately emphasized the two words, my sister, seems to really like you and you're holding my hand. What do you say, am I the vixen who's ruining someone else's love? Lucas looked at me, his eyes no longer cold but with a hint of a smile. Anya, he said, are you jealous? I typed a question mark. Who's jealous? What am I jealous of? Are you crazy? You think giving me 20,000 yuan gives you the right to talk nonsense? I bristled. HMPH. He chuckled softly. Just then, the emergency scene on the other side seemed to have stabilized. Yvonne Ta had regained consciousness but was still sobbing in Mrs. Ta's arms. Mr. Ta walked towards us. This time, his attitude was completely different. Mr. Lucas, Anya, he said, it's not convenient to talk here. Can we go inside? He glanced at my dilapidated apartment 702. Go where? Lucas suddenly spoke, his voice icy, completely different from when he spoke to me. Does Mr. Ta think this shabby apartment is worthy of me stepping into? I typed a question mark. Brother, that's my rented house. You're calling it shabby. Mr. Ta was speechless. My adoptive mother, standing nearby, heard him and her face turned pale. Or, Lucas continued, do you all want to talk here in the middle of the street for all the neighbors to watch your family reunion drama? Mr. Ta wiped his sweat. Facing Lucas, he was completely at a disadvantage. No, I wouldn't dare. Anya, Mrs. Ta also approached, tears in her eyes. My child, will you come home with Mom? Come back to the Ta family, to our villa. Come back to the Ta family? I sneered. Mrs. Ta, that sounds nice. For 24 years I was out on the streets and you didn't look for me. Today you come, bringing a sick sister and an ambulance. Do you think I'm stupid? My child, Mrs. Ta was stunned. She hadn't expected this lost daughter to be so stubborn. Stir? Yvonne Ta in the wheelchair looked up, her eyes brimming with tears. Sis, you misunderstand. Mom and Dad have been looking for you for a long time. It's just my illness. What does your illness have to do with me? I cut her off. I hated this weak but implied way of talking. Anya, Mr. Ta snapped. How dare you talk to your sister like that? Sister? I smirked. I haven't even acknowledged you as my father. On what grounds are you scolding me? You, Mr. Ta's face turned red with anger, the atmosphere as tense as a stretched string. My prodigal younger brother, my adoptive parent's son, who had been silent until now, suddenly ran out. He didn't look at me but at Mr. Ta. Sir, are you my sister's biological father? Are you very rich? Look, I'm her younger brother. Can you give me 50,000 yuan? I need money urgently. I wanted to faint. Damn it, so embarrassing, so utterly embarrassing. Mr. Ta looked at my brother as if he were looking at a strange creature. Lucas, I heard him trying to suppress a laugh. Shut up. My adoptive father ran out and slapped my brother. Get back in the house. A melodramatic scene, now with an added comedic element. Enough, I growled. I don't have time to watch your family play act. I turned to Lucas. Sir, I want to leave here. I don't want to stay here for another second. Okay, Lucas nodded. He opened the Maybach door. Don't go, Mrs. Ta shrieked, rushing forward and grabbing my arm. Anya, you can't go. You have to come home with Mom. Yvonne needs you. Needs me? I looked at her, my eyes cold. Needs me for what? You're her older sister. You, Mrs. Ta stammered. Lucas suddenly spoke. Why did you find her and bring her back? What is your purpose? His eyes, sharp as knives, swept over Mr. Ta. Mr. Ta flinched under Lucas's pressure. He no longer dared to hide anything. Mr. Lucas, this, Anya, Mr. Ta took a deep breath. Your younger sister, Yvonne, has a congenital heart condition. She's had many surgeries, but recently her condition has worsened, and she's also developed bone marrow failure. Bone marrow failure. The doctor said the only way to save her is a bone marrow transplant. My heart thumped. I looked at Yvonne Ta. She was bowing her head, her shoulders trembling, looking utterly pathetic. What does a bone marrow transplant have to do with me? I asked, though I already had the answer in my heart. Her parents and relatives, no one is a match, Mrs. Ta sobbed. Until we found you, you were still alive. We did a test and found out. She looked at me, her eyes not those of a mother looking at her daughter, but of someone looking at a savior. The doctor said, Mr. Ta continued, as identical twins, the compatibility rate is 100%. 100%? Ha ha, I burst out laughing. I laughed loudly. I stood in the dirty alley beside the ultra-luxury car, surrounded by two dramatic families, and I laughed like a madwoman. So that's it. For 24 years they didn't look for me. They looked for a bone marrow reserve bag. They didn't look for Anya. They looked for a life-saving medicine for Yvonne Ta. Excellent, excellent, I clapped. This script, 10 points, no 100 points. Anya, my child, Mrs. Ta was terrified. Mr. and Mrs. Ta, I stopped laughing, my face completely cold. You want me to donate bone marrow? Just a little bit, Mrs. Ta quickly said. It won't affect your health. Just a little bit. I looked straight at her. So what if I say no? The faces of Mr. Ta, Mrs. Ta, and even the frail Yvonne Ta all simultaneously went white. My no, though not loud, echoed like a bomb in this small, chaotic alley. The air froze. The faces of Mr. Ta, Mrs. Ta, and the frail Yvonne Ta in the wheelchair all simultaneously went white, then from white to disbelief. Anya, my child. Mrs. Ta was the first to react. She staggered, her hand pointing at me, her lips trembling. What did you just say? I said. I looked straight at her. I don't agree. I repeated each word. 24 years. For 24 years I lived like a weed, scolded by my adoptive mother, extorted by my prodigal younger brother, framed by colleagues. I'm used to fending for myself. Who do you think you are? Showing up with a few crocodile tears and a dramatic story, and you expect me to sacrifice my life? Bone marrow, it's almost the same for a golden child sister I've never even met. Dream on. You, Mr. Ta roared, his polite businessman facade completely gone. You dare to say no? Do you know who you're talking to? I'm your father. Father, I sneered. What proof do you have? Just because she and I look alike, or just because my bone marrow matches hers? Anya, how can you say that? Mrs. Ta wailed. That's your biological sister. If you don't donate bone marrow, she'll die. You're so heartless watching her die. You're cold-blooded. Cold-blooded? I repeated the two words. I looked at her, then at Lucas. He was still holding my hand tightly. His hand was very warm, it was like an anchor, keeping me from being swept away by this dramatic storm. I took a deep breath. Mrs. Ta, I said, my voice chillingly calm. 24 years ago, when you discarded me, did you think about being cold-blooded? We didn't discard you, Mrs. Ta shrieked. It was an accident, it was the nanny lost you. Oh, an accident? I raised an eyebrow. A rich family with some reputation like the Ta family could lose their daughter for 24 years. Did you look for me, or did you just forget my existence? Did you look for me? I snapped. Or was it? Not until Yvonne Ta needed bone marrow that you suddenly remembered. Oh, I have another daughter. Mr. and Mrs. Ta were speechless, their guilty expressions saying it all. They didn't look for me at all. You can't, sister. A weak, mournful voice cut through the chaos. It was Yvonne Ta. She looked up, her beautiful face, identical to mine, streaked with tears. She looked like a pear blossom in the rain, utterly pitiful. Sis, don't blame Mom and Dad, it's my fault. She sobbed, clutching her chest again. If it weren't for my illness, Mom and Dad wouldn't have. You're right, I coldly cut off her act. If you weren't sick, I probably would never have known I was a Ta family daughter my entire life. I would still be Anya, working 996, living my own life, not standing here being forced to be a bone marrow reserve bag for you. I didn't, her tears streamed down. Sis, I'm sorry, I don't need you to donate bone marrow anymore, I'll just die, she said. Then she suddenly reached out and pulled out the IV needle stuck in the back of her hand. Yvonne, Mrs. Ta shrieked, blood immediately gushing out. What are you doing, Yvonne? Mr. Ta also panicked. the nurse rushed over. Another chaotic, dramatic scene unfolded. Yvonne cried hysterically, demanding to die, saying she didn't want to be a burden on her family, didn't want to make her sister uncomfortable. I stood watching. If it were anyone else, they might have softened. But who was I? I was Anya, the one who had fought against Lily in my old company. This White Lotus acting technique, what was I to her? The more she acted, the more disgusted I felt. She was using death to coerce me. Enough, I said coldly. If you want to die, then die. Don't act in front of me. You, Mr. Ta was so furious he almost exploded. He hadn't expected me to be so unyielding. Anya, I order you, you must donate bone marrow. Order? I laughed. On what grounds? Based on the title of biological father that I've never heard for 24 years? Or are you going to kidnap me and put me on the operating table? Just then, an uninvited character intervened again, my adoptive mother. She had been watching the drama, her eyes gleaming. She saw the Rolls-Royce, the Bentley, Hurd, Ta family. Oh, Anya, she suddenly rushed out, grabbing my hand, the other hand still held by Luca's. This child, why are you talking to your biological parents like that? They're the Ta family, they're rich, you. What's wrong with donating a little bone marrow? They won't let you suffer, she said, winking at Mr. Ta. Mr. Ta, Mrs. Ta, my adoptive mother smiled ingratiatingly. This little Anya, I raised her for 24 years. It wasn't cheap. You all. She rubbed her fingers together, her meaning all too clear. She was pricing me. How much do you want? Mr. Ta immediately understood. He thought he had found an ally. This little Anya, I raised her for 24 years. It cost quite a bit. 500,000 yuan. Mr. Ta named a price. Convince her to agree. 500,000 yuan transferred immediately. My adoptive mother's eyes lit up like car headlights. Okay, 500,000 yuan. Anya, did you hear that? 500,000 yuan. Hurry up and agree. He turned, trying to pull my hand away from Lucas's. Are you crazy? It's just bone marrow donation. They're giving 500,000 yuan. Your adoptive parents raised you your whole life. Shut up, I roared, pulling my hand away from hers. I was disgusted. I truly felt disgusted. On one side, my biological parents found me to take my bone marrow. On the other side, my adoptive parents were selling me for 500,000 yuan. Ha ha ha. What was my life, after all? I trembled. This time I trembled with anger, so angry it made me nauseous. Anya, the hand holding mine suddenly tightened. Lucas. From the beginning until now, he had only stood silently, watching the drama. He hadn't said a word, but now he moved. He pulled me behind him. A very simple action. He just took half a step forward, using his tall, broad back to completely shield me from that dramatic crowd. The small alley immediately felt like it had been swept by a cold current. Lucas didn't look at Mr. Ta. He didn't look at Mrs. Ta either. He was looking at Yvonne Ta, my sick sister. Yvonne Ta, who had been weakly crying, immediately fell silent when she met Lucas's gaze. Her face was terrified. Lucas G, she stammered. Lucas finally opened his mouth, his voice as cold as the Antarctic, without a hint of warmth. Do you know me? Yvonne Ta was stunned. I'm Yvonne. Yvonne Ta, last year at the Liu family charity gala, my sister. I don't remember, Lucas cut her off. And I don't have any jeej for you. Yvonne Ta's face went white. You, Yvonne was speechless. And you, Lucas shifted his gaze to Mr. Ta. Ta Group, right? Yes, Mr. Lucas. Mr. Ta trembled. He could yell at me, but he didn't dare breathe heavily in front of Lucas. Bone marrow donation by law is entirely voluntary, Lucas said, his voice clear and precise. She said no, didn't you understand? But she's my daughter, she's Yvonne's sister. So what? Lucas raised an eyebrow. Just because she's your daughter, you have the right to force her onto an operating table? Mr. Ta, do you think the law is written by your family? I didn't mean that, it's just, Mr. Lucas, you don't understand. I understand, Lucas interrupted. I understand very well. You didn't look for her to acknowledge your daughter, you looked for her to save another daughter. He bluntly stated the truth I had just realized. You used family ties to coerce, money to bribe, and death to threaten. Every sentence he spoke was like a slap directly across the Ta family's face. Mr. Lucas, this is our family matter. Mr. Ta tried to salvage the situation. Family matter? Lucas sneered. The moment you dared to coerce her, it stopped being a family matter. He turned to look at me. I was hiding behind him. His icy gaze, when it met mine, suddenly softened a few degrees. Do you have anything else to say to them? He asked me. I was dazed. I looked at Mr. Ta, whose face was purple with anger, Mrs. Ta, who was crying uncontrollably, Yvonne Ta, who was terrified, and my adoptive mother, who was deeply regretting the 500,000 yuan. I shook my head. I have nothing left to say. All right, Lucas nodded. He took my hand and pulled me towards the Maybach. Stop, Mr. Ta roared. Anya, you can't go. If you go, what about Yvonne? He tried to rush forward to block us. You dare? Lucas didn't turn back. He just coldly spoke 2 words. Mr. Ta froze. Ta Group wants to cooperate on a South City project with Imperial Grand, right? Mr. Ta gasped. The South City project was the lifeblood of the Ta Group. Lucas, how did you? She, Lucas pointed at me, is my person. He said it very clearly for everyone to hear. Anyone who dares to touch a hair on her head, anyone who dares to force her to do what she doesn't want. He paused, turning half his face, his eyes sharp as knives. That means going against Imperial Grand. That means wanting the Ta Group to disappear. The entire alley was silent. My adoptive mother collapsed to the ground. Mr. Ta's face was ashen. Yvonne Ta had truly fainted. Lucas opened the car door. He gently pushed me in. The Maybach 8888 silently rolled away, leaving that dramatic alley and the chaotic mess of the Ta family behind. I sat in the car. The seat was still soft, but my body was ice cold. I had just cut ties with 2 families. I was now homeless, jobless, without relatives. I looked out the window, and tears, for some reason, just started flowing. I wasn't crying because I was sad. I was crying because I was disgusted. A neatly folded white handkerchief appeared before me. It was Lucas. He was sitting next to me. Wipe them, he said. You look ugly. Does he know how to comfort people at all? I typed a question mark, then snatched the handkerchief to wipe my tears. You mean the Ta Group will really disappear? I sniffled. Do you want them to disappear? He asked back. I bit my lip. I don't know. Then, he leaned back in his seat, closing his eyes. I'll let them live for now. His tone was as if he were deciding the life and death of an ant. Lucas, I looked at him, the wound on his face looking a bit lonely in the car's dim light. Who exactly are you? Not Mr. Lucas, not someone from Imperial Grand. Who exactly are you? Lucas opened his eyes. He looked at me. You want to know? I nodded. I am Lucas Chen, he said, the man you saved in the alley. Is he playing word games with me? And he suddenly leaned towards me. Our faces were very close. I could clearly see his long eyelashes. I'm the Crown Prince people talk about. The Crown Prince people talk about? I typed a question mark. And then, again, my brain, already overloaded by a series of dramatic events like being fired, being hunted, finding family, a twin sister needing bone marrow, officially shut down. Crown Prince, I repeated, my voice sounding incredibly foolish. Crown Prince of what? Of Imperial Grand. Are you kidding me? What era is this, still playing the Crown Prince game? Do you think you're starring in a Boys Over Flowers remake 20 years later? Lucas looked at me, this person typing question marks in his Maybach. He didn't explain. He just slowly sat back up straight. The intimate, ambiguous space that had just been there immediately vanished. He was back to being the cold, unreachable Mr. Lucas. Whoever you think I am, that's who I am, he said, his tone nonchalant. That kind of domineering answer just confused me even more. Is he trying to be mysterious with me? I pouted. Fine, Crown Prince. So where is this Crown Prince planning to take this humble citizen, Anya? I'm telling you now, I'm not going back to your castle. I have to go see Mia. I have to confirm my friend is safe. Even if you say you've arranged everything, I can't rest easy. Lucas nodded. This time, he didn't object. He gestured to the driver, and the car glided away, leaving the dirty alley and the Ta family's mess behind. I didn't look back. Imperial Grand Hotel. I walked in through the main entrance beside Lucas. All the staff, from security guards to lobby managers, immediately bowed 90 degrees when they saw him, saying in unison, Mr. Lucas. This aura was more imposing than ancient kings. I timidly pulled at my dress, which was originally a designer brand, but I still felt out of place. He didn't take the regular elevator. We took a private crystal elevator that required a special black card to activate. The elevator went straight up to the penthouse floor. Penthouse, asterisk, a word I'd only seen in novels. The elevator doors opened. Mia was sitting on the sofa. In front of her was a table laden with food. Lobster, caviar, oh God. Anya. Mia saw me, quickly dropped a piece of cake and rushed to hug me. Are you really okay? I was scared to death. I'm fine, I patted her back. It's good that you're okay. After confirming we were both alive, Mia noticed the man standing behind me. Ah! She immediately let go of me, stepping back, her face flushed. Mr. Lucas, thank you. Thank you for saving me. No need, Lucas simply said 2 words, then looked at me. How should we handle her? I typed a question mark. He talks as if Mia is a commodity. What do you mean, handle her? She's my friend, I snapped. I mean, his patience was surprisingly good. She can't go back to apartment 702. Both Black Serpent and the Ta family know that address. I froze. He was right. Then she can stay here, Lucas said, or I can arrange a new, absolutely safe place for her. Mia heard that and waved her hands frantically. No need to trouble Mr. Lucas, I'll go back to my hometown for a few days. That'll be fine. Mia knew I was in trouble. She didn't want to be a burden. I looked at my friend. Lucas, I turned to him. Can you give Mia a job here? At the Imperial Grand Hotel, reception, housekeeping, anything. As long as she's safe and can be independent, I can't let you support my friend. Lucas looked at me, then glanced at a trembling Mia. He nodded. Manager Chen. A man in a suit, looking like a senior manager, appeared from somewhere. Mr. Lucas? Arrange for her to join the marketing department, assistant position. Mia and I both typed a question mark. Marketing assistant? Mia majored in accounting. But I don't know anything about marketing, Mia stammered. No need to know, Lucas said. If I say you can do it, you can do it. This domineering attitude. And so Mia, a fresh accounting graduate, suddenly became an assistant in the marketing department of the Imperial Grand Group. Life was truly more dramatic than a movie. After entrusting Mia to manager Chen, who was looking at Mia as if she were a future queen, Lucas pulled me away. Where are we going now? I asked cautiously. Back to the castle, he said. I'm not going back. I need to find a place to live. I have 20,000 yuan, the money you gave me. Anya, he stopped and turned to look at me. Do you think the Ta family will leave you alone? I was speechless. You just refused to donate bone marrow for their darling. What do you think they'll do next? He asked me. I bit my lip. They won't dare to do anything to me. You're here. Right, he nodded. With me here, they won't dare to do anything to you. They won't dare to kidnap you. They won't dare to use force. Then that's good. But, he smirked, they might use more civilized methods. Civilized? Before I could understand what civilized meant, my phone vibrated furiously. Not one message, but dozens. From Mia, from some old colleagues, the ones who hated me, from my prodigal younger brother. I nervously opened Mia's message. Anya, quick, check the hot search, hurry. Hot search? I shakily opened Weibo and froze. Hot search number 1, Ta family finds long-lost daughter. Hot search number 2, heartless sister refuses to donate bone marrow to save younger sister. Hot search number 3, Yvonne Ta, heart condition, bone marrow failure. I clicked. The first article was a tear-jerking piece, talking about how the Ta family had lost their daughter 24 years ago, suffered greatly while searching, only to find her, but fate was cruel. The daughter who stayed home, Yvonne Ta, suffered from bone marrow failure. The article included a photo of Yvonne Ta. She lay on a hospital bed, pale on oxygen, but still smiling weakly at the camera, a fragile, pure beauty. The second article was about me. No clear facial photos, just a candid shot from a distance, probably from when I was in the alley next to the Maybach. The title, Long-Lost Sister Living Luxuriously, Heartlessly Watches Twin Sister Die. Below were thousands of hateful comments. Oh God, there are people like this? Her biological sister. Look at that Maybach, she must be kept by a sugar daddy. Rich but heartless. How can twin sisters be so different? Yvonne Ta is so pathetic, and this witch Anya is so vicious. A cold-blooded person. It's just bone marrow donation. It won't kill you. How can she be so cruel to her sister? I suggest the law intervene, force this witch to donate bone marrow. Splat, I was so angry I threw my phone on the ground. The old battered phone shattered. Damn it, I roared, tears streaming down. They dare this. This is the civilized way Lucas spoke of. They're using public opinion to kill me. They're turning me into a criminal. They're turning Yvonne Ta into a victim. They want to force me. No matter where I go or what I do, I'll be reviled by everyone. They want to leave me with no way out but to return and beg to donate bone marrow to Yvonne Ta. So cruel, so vicious, I trembled. I looked at Lucas. He was still calm. His calmness made me even angrier. You see, I yelled. This is their civilized way. You're helpless too, aren't you? You can block Black Serpent, but can you silence the whole world? Lucas looked at me, then at the shattered phone on the ground. He said nothing. He pulled out his own phone. It was the phone I had saved. No, it was a new one. He dialed a number. Alex, his voice was icy. Hot search. In 5 minutes, clean it all up. I was stunned. Clean it up. Sounds easy, but this is a national public opinion storm. He hung up. That's not enough, I muttered. They'll take it down and the Ta family will just post it again. They have money. Right, Lucas nodded. Just taking it down isn't enough. He dialed another number. Old Zhang, he said. Ta Group. In 10 minutes, I want to hear news of their bankruptcy. My jaw dropped. Did I mishear? Bankruptcy in 10 minutes. Lucas, they used money to coerce you. Lucas looked at me, his eyes deep. Then I'll take all their money. He hung up, then calmly put his phone back in his pocket. Your phone's broken, he said as if commenting on the weather. There's a new one in the castle. He took my hand. This time I didn't struggle. I was completely numb. Lucas, the Ta Group is a real estate conglomerate, not a market, I stammered. You can't, Anya, he interrupted. Do you think the Crown Prince of Imperial Grand is just a title? But if you do that, Yvonne Ta, she'll really die. Even though I hated her, that was the Ta family's business. Lucas pulled me into the elevator. It's not your business, he looked at me. I already said, my people I protect. Anyone who touches you? He paused and smiled, the first genuine smile I had clearly seen. I'll destroy them. Just then his phone vibrated. A message. He opened it. Alex reported. He showed me a message. Mr. Lucas, it has been investigated that the lost incident 24 years ago was intentional. Yvonne Ta was diagnosed with congenital heart disease at birth. The Ta family intentionally discarded Miss Anya to preserve Yvonne Ta's good fortune. They didn't lose you, they discarded you. The phone slipped from my hand. I wasn't lost, I was discarded. I wasn't lost, I was discarded. The phone Lucas handed me clattered to the crystal elevator floor, but I didn't hear it. My ears rang, all strength drained from my body. If Lucas hadn't been holding my hand tightly, I might have collapsed. They discarded me, I muttered. They discarded me like a broken item, like trash, just because Yvonne Ta had a congenital heart condition, just because they wanted to preserve good fortune for that golden child. They discarded their healthy daughter, me, to seek good luck for their sick daughter. Ha ha ha, I laughed again. I realized that every time something extremely dramatic happened, I burst out laughing. Anya, Lucas called me, his voice a little tense. The elevator doors dinged, opening onto the penthouse floor. He didn't say anything more, bent down, picked up the phone, and then scooped me into his arms. Ah, I gasped. What are you doing? Put me down. You can't stand steadily, he said, his tone allowing no argument. He carried me, truly in a princess carry, across the vast living room and gently set me down on the soft leather sofa. He didn't let go immediately. He braced his arms on the back of the sofa, trapping me between him and the sofa. He looked at me, very close. Anya, he growled, looking at me. I looked up, dazed. His eyes were complex, with anger, with pain. They discarded you, he said, his voice deep and rough. That's their loss. I bit my lip, tears finally uncontrollable. They're bastards. I punched his chest, but it was gentle. They discarded me for 24 years, now they find me just to take my bone marrow. They even dared to go on hot search and call me cold-blooded. Yes, he nodded. They are not human. Yes, Lucas. I clutched his shirt. You said in 10 minutes the Ta Group will go bankrupt. Is that true? I want them to pay immediately. Lucas's eyes flashed. You want them to go bankrupt? I do, I roared. I want them to lose everything, just like I did for 24 years. I want them to have to kneel down and beg me. Hatred flared. I knew I looked ugly, but I couldn't control it. Okay, Lucas said a single word. He kissed my forehead. A light kiss like a dragonfly touching water, but it stunned me. As you wish, he said, then stood up straight, pulling out his phone. He dialed a number. Old Zhang, he said, his voice was icy. It's been 12 minutes, how's the Ta Group? I held my breath. The other end said something. Lucas's face remained expressionless. Good, continue. Drive them to ruin, buy all their junk stocks. I want Mr. Ta to have nothing left by tomorrow morning. He hung up. He turned to look at me, the person trembling on the sofa. It's done, he said. There will be news tomorrow morning. I just ordered the destruction of a family. Am I very vicious? I mumbled. No, Lucas sat down next to me, taking my hand. They reap what they sow. He looked at me. You're not vicious, you're just hurt. My heart thumped. In 24 years, no one had ever told me that. My adoptive mother only called me useless. My younger brother only asked for money. Lily called me a fake. Only him. Just as my emotions were overflowing, his phone rang again. It was Alex. "Yes, Mr. Lucas, the hot search has been cleaned up, but—" Alex's voice sounded awkward. "But what?" Lucas frowned. "Mr. and Mrs. Ta are causing a ruckus in the main lobby of Imperial Grand. They're demanding to see Miss Anya, they said." "What did they say?" "They said if Miss Anya doesn't come down, they'll kneel in the lobby and call reporters." Damn it, another civilized trick. "They know I'm with Lucas at Imperial Grand. They want to use public opinion to force me to show my face. Shameless bastards," I was furious. Lucas chuckled. "Shameless, that's the Ta family for you." He stood up. "Do you want to see them one last time?" he asked. "See them for what? To let them scold me?" "No," he smirked. "To bestow grace, one last time." He held out his hand. "Come on, I'll take you to watch a good show." I looked at his hand, long and strong. I placed my hand in his. "Let's go then." The Imperial Grand Hotel's main lobby. Just as Alex said, Mr. Ta, Mrs. Ta, and Yvonne Ta, still in her wheelchair, still looking frail, were standing in the middle of the lobby. Imperial Grand security guards surrounded them, forming a circle, not letting them advance or retreat. Other guests were whispering. "Isn't that Mr. Ta from the Ta Group? Why is he standing here?" I heard the Ta Group was just warned by the stock exchange. Their stock plummeted. Beside him is Miss Yvonne Ta. Oh my God, she looks so weak. When Lucas and I stepped out of the private elevator, the entire lobby fell silent. All eyes turned to us. To Lucas, the man like an emperor, his aura overwhelming. And to me, Anya, holding his hand. "Anya," Mrs. Ta was the first to see me. She rushed forward as if grasping a life raft, wailing, "Anya, save your parents, save the Ta family." Security immediately stopped her. "Anya," Mr. Ta's face was also ashen. He no longer had the businessman's demeanor. Quick, tell Mr. Lucas to stop. The Ta Group is finished. Stocks, banks." "Oh," I raised an eyebrow, feigning surprise. "Bankrupt already, that fast?" You," Mr. Ta roared. "You conspired with Lucas, harmed the Ta family. You're an animal." "Animal?" I laughed. "You call the person you discarded 24 years ago an animal." My words were like a bomb. The surrounding guests started to devour the drama. Discarded 24 years ago. Mr. and Mrs. Ta's faces turned white. Mrs. Ta pulled her husband's sleeve. Don't say any more." "Sister." Yvonne Ta looked up, tears in her eyes. "Sis, I know you hate Mom and Dad, but the Ta family is our home. Sis, you can't destroy it just because you're angry." "Shut up," I snapped. "On what grounds are you talking to me? A bone marrow reserve bag like me? I don't dare to claim this family." Miss Yvonne Ta, Lucas, who had been silent until now, suddenly spoke. Yvonne Ta's heart skipped a beat. She looked up, her eyes brightening despite her tears at him. "Lucas Jeej, you," Lucas said, his voice cold as ice. "Do you know Black Serpent?" Yvonne Ta's face stiffened. Black Serpent, what? I don't know," she stammered. "Don't know?" Lucas sneered. "So you don't know the blonde thug either?" Anya," Lucas turned to me. "Alex just reported." The accident in the alley was not accidental. The mastermind wanted me to disappear from Imperial Grand. They're my business rivals. "But," he looked at Yvonne Ta, "the one who provided my schedule information to Black Serpent just to make me notice her, hoping I'd pay attention to her." Lucas's eyes were sharp as knives. "It was Miss Yvonne Ta here." The entire lobby gasped. Oh my God, the drama. Yvonne Ta, just to get Lucas's attention, dared to contact gangsters to set up a scene for Black Serpent? What's in her head? She thought Lucas was the male lead of a romance novel who would heroically save the beauty and then fall in love with her. No, it wasn't me." Yvonne Ta shrieked in panic. "Mom and Dad saved me." "Mr. Ta," Lucas said, "your daughter not only has a heart condition but also a brain condition. Intentionally disclosing information that endangers others. This crime alone is enough for her to go to jail for a few years." "No," Mrs. Ta collapsed. Mr. Ta was speechless. And Lucas seemed not yet ready to relent. "Alex, release all evidence of the Ta family intentionally abandoning a newborn 24 years ago online." "Mr. Lucas," Mr. Ta roared, "you're going too far." "Too far?" Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Compared to you discarding her, how is this?" He pulled me away. "Security, escort our guests out." "Anya, you can't go, you saved me, you're my daughter," Mr. Ta shrieked. I stopped. I turned to look at him. "You're wrong," I said very clearly. "I'm not your daughter, I was picked up by him." I smiled at Lucas. "Right, my creditor." Lucas was stunned, then he genuinely smiled. "Let's go home." he said, pulling me into the elevator, leaving behind the wails and chaos. That night in the penthouse, I sat by the window, looking at the city lights. The Ta group officially went bankrupt. Yvonne Ta was taken away by the police for investigation. The Ta family permanently vanished from the upper class. I had my revenge, but I wasn't happy. I just felt empty. Want something to drink? Lucas brought over a glass of warm milk. I'm not a child, I pouted but still took it. You, I looked at him, how did you get beaten by Black Serpent? Internal purging? He said nonchalantly. The Liu family, it's not just me. Some people don't want me to sit securely on this crownprince seat. I was stunned. So, you saved me and I saved you. We're even. He sat down next to me. No, Anya. He suddenly took my hand. I'm not the crown prince, I'm Lucas Chen. I know I was really beaten, I didn't trust anyone, until an idiot threw a cup of bubble tea and shouted, "Police here." My face flushed. You still dare to talk about that? And that idiot, he continued, dared to demand 200 yuan from the crown prince of Imperial Grand. Well, you really owed me, didn't you? I argued, my voice strained. Right. He suddenly pulled me into his arms. Lucas, I stuttered. I owe you, he buried his face in my hair. I owe you 200 yuan and I owe you a lifetime. My heart exploded. You're confessing? I stammered. No, he looked up at me, his deep eyes no longer cold, only doting. Isn't it obvious yet? He leaned down, his lips touching mine. This kiss wasn't domineering, it was only gentle. Anya, 24 years of dramatic life, discarded, framed, deceived. But I saved a handsome man in an alley. Who knew that handsome man would pick me up and take me home? Well, fine. Crown prince or not, as long as he's my person. End of story.